What's up, everybody? I'm Rick.
And I'm Anna, and welcome to our review of the 1935 movie Naughty Marietta. For those of you who are new here, hi and welcome to our channel. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, which is dedicated to Rick and mine bucket list of goals and dreams that we hope to accomplish in our lifetimes. And one of those goals for us is to watch all the movies nominated for Best Picture at the Academy Awards from 1927 to 2028. Oh my gosh!
It's a lot of movies.
That's 101 years of Academy Awards Best Picture nominees and their respective winners. We are currently at the year 1935, which is the 8th Academy Award year, and to this day we have watched 61 movies. And we have also discussed one movie that is not available to us right now because it's at UCLA, and one lost movie. And if you don't know it yet, the way these reviews are going is that the first part is going to be a spoiler-free part in which we're going to give our top-level appreciation and some commentary on the movie without spoiling the story for you. And the second part is going to be spoiler-filled, in which we're going to deep dive into certain scenes, certain elements of the movie while spoiling the story. Don't worry though, if you don't want to get spoiled, we will warn you before we get to the spoiler-filled part. And at that point, you can head to the timestamp in the description box below that will take you directly to the end of this video to the ranking section. Because yes, every year we are ranking the nominees of that year according to our likes and preferences, obviously. Yeah. But before we get into all of that, let me give you some information about the movie in the trivia section.
Please do so. What is that movie we watched?
Naughty Marietta is an MGM movie that came out on March 8, 1935. Surprisingly, and I don't know if you knew that, I didn't, but apparently it is based on the 1910 operetta Naughty Marietta by Victor Herbert.
I didn't, but it's not surprising.
Yeah, that is true. Movie was directed by Robert Z. Leonard, who directed another movie that we have watched as part of this goal.
Oh,
You don't know. The Divorcee.
Oh, The Divorcee?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, okay.
However, he asked the production company to relieve him of his assignment after the first day of filming. So we can't really say how much his input actually.
Of filming what, this?
Yes.
Oh yeah, so he's not the director.
He was the director for one day.
Yeah. So who's the director actually?
So the director is W.S. Van Dyke, who we also know of because he was the director of...
Western Front? All Quiet on the Western Front? No?
No.
Oh.
Trader Horn.
Trader Horn. Oh
and
yeah. Recently we've watched it.
The Thin Man.
The Tin Man.
Yes. And if we put those two together with this third movie directed by him, he's
None
all
of
over
them
the
have
place.
anything to do with each other. Yeah, no.
Very varied style that he has. The movie stars Janet MacDonald as Princess Marie de Namur de la Bonfin.
Yes,
Am I saying that right?
Oui, bonjour.
Whom we've seen before in two previous films that were part of this goal, The Love Parade and 1 Hour with You.
So she left Maurice Chevalier behind.
I think Maurice Chevalier left
Yeah.
Hollywood behind.
We haven't seen him in a while, yeah.
Nelson Eddy as Captain Richard Warrington, and Douglas Dumbrille as Prince de Namur de la Bonfin, whom we've also seen before in two pictures that we've watched for this goal. I'm a Fugitive from a Chain Gang, in which he played a minor role, and he
The
played
one we just watched, right?
The Lives of a Bengal Dancer, right, in which he played the antagonist Mohammed Khan.
Yes, of course, because why get an Indian actor to play the role? That would be too easy.
The movie was nominated for 2 Academy Awards. First off, Best Picture, or as it was known back then, Outstanding Production. And the second one, Best Sound Recording for Douglas Shearer, for which it won. In 2003, the film was selected for preservation in the National Film Registry as being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. And not only that, but also the film was listed on the American Film Institute list of 100 Years, 100 Passions. And One of the songs of the film was selected for the list 100 Years, 100 Songs.
It's funny that they didn't get the Academy Award nomination for the songs, huh?
Yeah, I thought so too, especially a couple of them were really good up there. Like, I really liked them.
But I guess it's best original songs, and those were the songs from the operetta, no?
Yeah, the songs are all from the operetta. Also, a little fun fact, this is the first of 8 movies that Janet MacDonald and Nelson Eddy made together.
She needed a new partner.
Right, and the two of them together were called American Singing Sweethearts. That was it for the information that I had about the movie, so without further ado, let us move on to the spoiler-free section of this video.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. So, without spoiling anything, Rick, I know we're in your favorite category of movies here, musicals, so what did you think of this movie?
Oh, is that so? Is that my favorite categories of movies?
Oh, it seems like it, isn't it?
I wouldn't say so. I love musicals, but again, I mean, the songs were great. The story was entertaining, you know, like it didn't blow me off of my mind, but I thought it was like from beginning to end, easy to follow and entertaining. And the performances, I love the two main characters. Each of them were convincing in their roles, and overall, I really enjoyed my experience. There were maybe, I mean, 1 or 2 things that are more spoilery that I had issues with, but the overall experience, it was a great movie.
Yeah, I have to agree. I really enjoyed especially the songs. I like the chemistry of the main characters, the main couple. But I have to say the story, because you were saying the story is kind of like this pretty simple and easy to follow through. When I read that it's based on an operetta, I thought like, oh, it makes sense. Like, this looks like a story that you'd be able to reenact like live on a stage, you know? But then I looked into it some more, and apparently the story of the operetta is more complex. The movie eliminated a lot of
The complexities of the story?
yeah, especially because there were some characters that might have raised controversy.
Oh, like what?
So apparently there was an effeminated male character in the story, and his love interest with a gypsy woman.
Okay.
So that just doesn't appear at all. But yeah, going back to the story of the movie here, I really like it. It's like a really simple, nice romance story, adventurous romance story, you know. You really feel like the emotions, the heartache and everything, you know, that usually comes with a Hollywood romance story. So I like that, you know, it's enjoyable.
Yeah, the songs were good, the main characters were believable, and you can get behind her, you know, Janet's character pretty quickly, so you don't feel like you have nobody to root for. The songs especially, I guess. It comes back to this, no? 'Cause,
it does, yeah. I feel like a movie that includes songs, like a musical, if the songs are not impressive, you're kind of like, why?
The whole thing falls apart, yeah.
Exactly. Whereas if the songs are good, it really brings up the whole thing, you know?
Yeah.
So
it makes a okay story or a normal story great, you know?
yeah, exactly.
I mean, I love Grease, but Grease's story is pretty simple.
Yeah.
It's the songs that makes it a great movie.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's because the songs just transmit feelings in a different way, you know? It's way more like to the heart, so to say. And this movie definitely does that. So we talked about the story. Let us move on into performances more specifically. What did you think of... You already said that you liked the main characters, the couple. But what did you think about other performances? Is there anything else that stood out to you?
Stood out... the governor and his wife, I thought, were also very good.
That's
in
where I
their
was
roles.
going with the question.
Yeah.
I really like them. They don't even appear that much. The governor a bit more, the wife a bit less, but I feel like their characters are like so well paired, you know? You know, behavior, their interaction is very interesting.
And it's funny without it being forceful, you know, without it being too much like, oh, we're trying to be funny, laugh now. Yeah.
Exactly. It's not like clownish, you know? It's naturally funny.
Yeah.
However, Dumbrill's character, the prince, Marietta's uncle.
Yeah.
I have to say I didn't really get that character.
What do you mean?
Motivation, story, all of that, you know?
It's just about like doing what she's supposed to do. He's enforcing that.
Yeah, but I'm not really getting what's his motivation. Like, why is he doing all of that? Like, I don't really feel his character. It feels like he's there just to push her.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, because she's supposed to do a certain thing as royalty.
Yeah.
And he's there to enforce that, hey, you should act a certain way as a princess, and the king wouldn't be happy, and I'm here to be sure that the king is happy.
I guess, yeah, what I'm saying is that I would have liked for him to have...
To talk more about the personal...
To have a little bit more of like a personal story, like a personal touch to the character. I didn't really feel that much. His character was a little bit like on the surface. It feels like he was there.
It's very one note, but he has one job, and that's all he does.
Yeah, that is true. So we already mentioned this is a musical, so obviously the songs are important, the sound is important. Mm-hmm. What did you think about that, and also the look of the movie?
It sounded great. The songs were not only like well written, and we've talked about musicals before. Janet chose in a lot of musicals with Maurice Chevalier, and which they had that peculiar style, before they would just turn towards the camera and start singing, which was very Maurice Chevalier. We don't see that as often since, and it's more of the songs being woven into the story, but still not in the way that musicals are today, because musicals today, most of the times, they're singing, but is as if they were talking.
Yeah, it's like this is part of the story.
Yeah, they don't acknowledge within the story that they're singing.
Yeah.
But
whereas
here they do.
Here, like, the songs are performances within the story.
Exactly.
So, I also thought that the movie looked, like, really interesting. I liked the, especially when you think, like, costume-wise, it feels like it would have been a big investment at the time to put together those outfits.
Yeah, and the outside shots, again, I always come back to these, but and these black and white movies, to see them filming outside every time, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting...
And it's really enjoyable to see it, like, always getting better,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that is about everything that I had to say about the movie. Is there anything else that you'd like to add without spoiling it?
Without spoiling, no.
No. Would you recommend this movie?
Yes, I would go watch it. Enjoy yourself.
I would recommend it too. I think it's nice, it's enjoyable. You'll have a good time, a good laugh, a good love story, so why not? That being said, if you don't want to get spoiled from now on, I invite you to head to the description box below and click on that timestamp that will take you to the ranking section at the end of this video. And for those of you who have already watched the movie or who don't mind getting spoiled, let us move on to the spoiler-filled section.
Spoiler.
Let us start this section the way we always do. I'm going to read you a short synopsis of the movie. In order to avoid a prearranged marriage, a rebellious French princess sheds her identity and escapes to colonial New Orleans, where she finds an unlikely true love. Mm-hmm. That's a beautiful story. It's a nice premises to start. A princess who falls in love with like a commoner. It's true love. He doesn't know she's a princess, and he falls in love with her anyway. Like that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a story that we've seen often done, even for those times.
Right.
One thing though that I have to say, when I was saying like I have issues with the two elements. One of these elements is I find that the turn could have gotten some more work.
What turn? What do you mean?
Like these type of movies, there's always a turn. Like she doesn't like him at the beginning, and then there's a turn where she ends up liking him. I didn't really feel that turn. It felt like more of a switch, like a...
Yeah, like now that I think about it, I don't even remember exactly when did that happen. But I kind of felt like she kind of like just slowly gave in to...
But that's what I'm saying. I didn't feel that at all. I felt like the whole time she was like, I don't even want to talk to you, let alone be in the same room with you. And then I love you,
I guess it was after that boat ride.
Mm-hmm.
Like right before the boat ride that she accepts him. Or that she falls in love with him. And then right after that, they get separated.
Like they're having the ride and he's singing. He's been singing, and he helped her. He's been helping her. Like what has changed really?
It's
in
just
their
that it keeps
relationship.
happening, you know. So in the end, she.
Yeah, but if you had
know what?
seen
No, I
slowly that she was warming up to him more and more, but that's what I'm
But
saying.
I
I
feel
don't really
like
see
the way I got it, the way I thought it happened was more that like she actually did like him from the beginning. She just didn't want to admit it. That's how I felt. Like from the time he saves her the first time
You
from
think?
the pirates. Yeah, I think so. I think she was infatuated with him from the beginning. Like she had that attraction, but she just didn't want to admit it
It's
because
not
she
really-
was too because he was too like
Cocky.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's not really shown that way.
I kind of felt it that way. You know that scene with the undergarments, like
Yeah,
the
but that's
soldiers
because
needed
he
stuff.
ends up telling her why they need the undergarment, and then she feels bad because it was just to help.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I picked up on her reaction there. That she was like, because in the end he refuses to take hers.
Yeah.
He gives hers back, says, "You'll need this. There are mosquitoes here," or something like this. And she's like, she has that like flushed face, you know, like she's kind of shy, but also
Yeah, but to
upset,
me, I took
but
it
also
that
angry,
she's
but-
just ashamed, you know. He keeps calling her princess, and she's proving that she's a princess by acting the way she's acting.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of felt like she was always interested in
Like
him.
she ran
She
away
just
from
denied
him
it.
when he gave her an apartment, a house to live in.
Yeah, because she was too proud to accept it.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, I didn't see it that way, but hey.
I
can agree to disagree.
I saw the liking there, in my opinion. One thing that I wanted to touch on is that it really feels like the whole movie is just... I mean, it's a movie, right? You take it for what it is. This is a fairy tale story, really. Minus the fairies. Because, you know, you have this story of a princess who, like, doesn't want to get into an arranged marriage.
Yeah.
She goes to, like, such extreme measures to get away from that. She runs, like, to a ship that would take her to another continent. You know? I mean, it feels like a fairy tale, right? And she ends up there, she gets in trouble and all of that, and then when she gets caught again, when she gets found by the French royal family, she runs off again even further away into the Wild West.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's so... everything feels like so extreme. So,
There's no half measure when you're a princess. You have to do things in the extremes.
right, yeah, it's only your way or no way.
Which is a funny ending because I was thinking afterward, like, what are they going to do in the wilderness? But
I really like the fact that they ended it like that, the story, because I feel like a lot of these like modern like princes or princesses stories that you get in movies today, and with them being happily married into the royal palace,
yeah,
you know? So
they've
it's-
been accepted.
yeah, exactly. So I really like that this movie ended like that. Like, no, she really didn't want to be a princess. He really didn't care. Even after he found out that she is a princess, he didn't
I don't think
care
she
about
minded
that.
being a princess that much. She didn't mind. She minded the arranged marriage.
I feel like she minded the fact that she didn't have her freedom to like make her own choices, you know? I mean, sure, the arranged marriage is a proof of that, but I feel like it's more of like a symbolistic for...
Because even when the uncle confronts her on why she left, she's just like, I'm not going to marry this guy, so I left, you know?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. But in the end, he also didn't care that she was a princess even after he found out.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't gain anything from it. If anything, he also lost his status because he was like an officer.
yeah.
And now he's a runaway. But it's nice. I really like how it ends.
Another element, so I said there was two things that bothered me. The switch, well, we disagree on that. Another thing was, this is a 17th century French colony, okay? And there are some black people there.
Okay.
17th century French colony, black people there are obviously slaves. And, this is not what the movie is about at all. But to show them, just happily walking down the street,
I see what you mean.
it's kind of bothersome to me.
Yeah, that is true. I feel like it's like you said, it's not even what the movie is about. But if you don't want to make it about that, just don't put it there to kind of like mislead.
If you want to have, the realistic element, you have to show that, there were slaves there, so we're going to put some slaves there. but at least don't show them as if they didn't mind their situation.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Well, I remember there was one black character who was like dressed up all like a noble
Yeah,
man with like the
they're
hair
doing
and
well,
everything.
huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I don't think that's realistic in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, that is bothersome.
Like, you don't have to put the attention towards that, but like,
At least like have a realistic depiction of it.
yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think that one last thing that I would like to touch on is that like high point scene of the movie of the princess and her captain singing together in the ballroom.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked that scene particularly for its intensity, because it felt like most of the movie was kind of like lighthearted, including her running away and everything else.
Yeah.
But that scene was like so heavy and emotional for the both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved also the emotion that showed through in their song together. What do you think about that?
Well, the stakes were serious there. You know, he was supposedly going to get killed if he went to the ball. And she's playing her life on this because, well, not her life literally, but the life that she wants to live. So you can see the stakes and why there would be so many emotions in that song, let alone the fact that they love each other, they're singing together. So yeah, definitely a powerful scene. It's also strange in a way that the uncle was there, you know, but I felt like he would have tried to stop it or something. I understand it's the song.
I feel like, yeah, that's true. But, you know, in the movie, that's the song,
Yeah.
so they weren't going to interrupt it. But at the same time, I feel like, you know, it's believable. Like, he wouldn't want to make a scene out of it or something. There were all those
Yeah.
people there, you know. He was like, okay, when she's done, I'm going to...
Arrest them and that's it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really wanted to touch on that. Also wanted to mention that is the song from that scene. That is the song that is on the list 100, the year's 100 songs.
Oh.
So, yeah, very good song. And very popular after that. It was reused in a lot of other movies and theater plays. So,
Nice.
yeah. So that is it, I think, for our spoiler-filled discussion. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Once again, you would recommend this movie, right?
Yeah, I loved it.
Me too. I absolutely loved it. So without further ado, let us move on to the ranking section. So the ranking of the 1935 Best Picture nominated movies as of now is: at number 5, The Lives of a Bengal Lancer; at number 4, Alice Adams; at number 3, Ruggles of Red Gap; at number 2, Captain Blood; and at number 1, The Informer. Vic, where would you put this movie on this list?
I don't know where I think you would put it higher than I would.
You think?
Yeah, probably.
But it's a musical. That's your favorite kind of movie.
No, that's you saying that. I never said that. I'd put it like 3 or 4.
I put it 3.
Mm.
Yeah. I feel like it's better and like it's a little bit more complex than Ruggles of Red Gap, production-wise. Not necessarily story-wise.
I feel like story-wise, Ruggles is more interesting.
But I feel like this one just comes together better as a movie. I feel like it's a bit more coherent through and through.
Is that so? How so?
Thinking back now on Ruggles of Red Gap, I do feel like there's, I don't like a strong shift in the movie, you know? Because the movies have like a little bit of a similar element there, which is a person
from Europe
from, like,
going to the...
from like a high class, like a higher position, right? Leaving from Europe, going to the US. I feel like in the Ruggles of Red Gap, you really feel that transition like really strongly, where it almost feels like everything that happened before is one part of the movie and everything that happens after is another part of the movie that are like kind of separate. Whereas here you feel like they're still like the exact same characters and their story continues, you know, where her story here, the main character's story.
Yeah, I don't know that I would agree with that.
Whereas here, like through the fact that her problems follow her into like wherever she's going, you know, it feels more like a continuous.
Yeah, no, I'm not really behind you on that one.
Okay, where would you put it?
As I said, 4/3. So now, why would I put it over Ruggles is my question. It would be the song, probably. But again, I feel like Ruggles had a story that was more interesting. And so that's just what I'm debating right now. Songs or story. I I don't know, I also feel like Ruggles had a better ensemble cast of character, you know, like if you go further than just Charles' character, like the surrounding ones were also very either funny or interesting.
I agree, that is true. Whereas here it really feels like it's only the two main characters that...
It falls on them.
Yeah, exactly.
Though the governor is pretty funny too, but he's...
It does feel like everyone else is just supporting.
Yeah, exactly.
Character. That's the definition of supporting characters. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would put it at 4.
No.
Oh, we're in an impasse. Is it the first time?
I think so.
Yeah, that's why usually you have an odd number of people for these.
Right.
I don't know, I feel like even in terms of performance, you know, while we have great performances here too, in Ruggles they're more nuanced, you know, like even the funnier character, like I forget his name, who was playing Adolf and one of the at face value you'd think, oh, he's just there to be funny, but there is nuance to his character and to his interpretation. Same for Charles' character Ruggles. While here there are nuance to the main two characters, but everyone else is pretty much one note, you know. They have one,
like it's more surface level.
They have one character trait and that's all they are.
Okay, so I guess after the debate I'm gonna go with number 4, although I have to say I'm not 100% convinced, but I guess you do make more points for the Ruggles of Red Gap, so we're gonna go with that. So the new ranking of the 1935 Best Picture nominated movies as of now and according to our liking and preferences is: at number 6, The Lives of a Bengal Lancer; at number 5, Alice Adams; at number 4, Naughty Marietta; at number 3, Ruggles of Red Gap; at number 2, Captain Blood; and at number 1, The Informer. That was it for our review of the 1935 movie Naughty Marietta. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't done it yet, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, which, by the way, is not just about reviewing movies. It's a bucket list channel in which we try to realize the goals and dreams that are on our bucket list. And there's so many of different ones. We're doing things like cooking, self-grow, learning new things, traveling, and we're bringing videos about all of them to you guys. So yeah, if you're interested to follow us to our journey, don't forget to subscribe. Also hit the notification bell to be notified next time when we drop a new video. Give a thumbs up to this video if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Well, Tree, what do you mean?
That we're all happily unmarried. So just tell the girls not to get up their hopes, will you?
Well, what gave you any idea the girls had any hope?
Oh, we're not bad prospects. We fight for our living and love at our leisure.